what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. 6'7", size 14 shoe. No, I'm not a professional basketball player. Yes, I can play basketball. No, I will not do it for you. Yes, I can dunk the ball. No, I will not do it for you. Yes, I played basketball in high school. No, I did not play basketball in college. Yes, I enjoy the sport. And no, I do not know any professional basketball players. Those are the questions I get everywhere I go, no matter who I see. Why? I'm a walking stereotype. 6'7" black man, bald head, got to be a ball player, am I right? It's a given. It's expected. I get it. It's okay. Everywhere I go, people say, "Do you play basketball? Do you play basketball? Do you play basketball?" I say, "No, no. I'm really into miniature golf. Me and that windmill. Get it every time." Well, it's something that I deal with everywhere I go, all the time, no matter who I see. People think that I'm a ball player, but that's not who I am. Now, there's some good things about being tall and some not so good things about being tall that just kind of go in my life. Some not so good things about being tall: airplanes. Yeah, you think you have no leg room in an airplane? I have no leg room in an airplane. I get into a plane and I immediately start to pray. Not that the plane stays in the air. I pray, please don't lean the seat back. Please don't lean the seat back. Please don't lean the seat back. And what do they do every time? That's right. Lean the seat back every time. And that wonderful headrest to keep you nice and comfortable, well, yeah, that's in the middle of my back. So I'm really no comfort there. Cars. Cars aren't great for tall people. I'm telling you, it's, those, what do you call them? Minis, Fiats, those smart cars. Yeah, no, they're terrible little death traps. They're horrible. I feel like I got to fold up like origami in order to fit inside of those things. So airplanes are no good. Cars are no good. Doorways, ceiling fans, shower heads, spider webs. These are all major issues in the world of tall people. So those are the things that are not so great with being tall. And there's some other things that are absolutely fabulous about being tall. Number one thing for me, random autographs. People think I'm famous because I look like a ball player, and it's okay. Everywhere I go, people are always wondering, am I some kind of ball player? Am I somebody famous? And you know where it happens the most? In airports. Why? Because people do people watching in airports. And for some reason, they are brave and they come right up to me. Very interesting. Years ago, when I first got married, my wife at the time worked in the travel industry. And because of that, we were very fortunate that we went to Greece for our honeymoon. Absolutely gorgeous place, wonderful place. Now, I believe the national sport in Greece is soccer or football, as they say, but a very, very, very close second is, what do you think? That's right, basketball. Basketball. I did not know that. You think I look like a ball player now? You should have saw me back in my 20s. So we get to Athens, we get to Greece. They're not shy. They come right up to me. Do you play basketball? UNBA, UNBA, UNBA. I kept telling them, no, no, no. My wife said, idiot, yes. I said, I am? Yes. UNBA all day, every day. I said, oh, okay. They said, UNBA, yes. Oh, wonderful. What team? I said, Timberwolves. I'm sorry, but nobody knows who's on the Timberwolves. I got free drinks, free meals, free tickets. It was wonderful. It was awesome. We went around the Greek islands and we went to this beautiful island, Mykonos. We ate at this fabulous, beautiful little cafe next to the water, windmills in the distance, beautiful. I tell you, if you go to that cafe right now, there's probably a picture of me and the owner like this. He thought it was famous. I got a free shrimp cocktail. At any rate, growing up to be as tall as I am, it comes with a lot of great things and some not so great things. Here's the thing: when you're growing up as a young child, looking the way that I am, an African American boy, or just being bigger than everyone else, there's certain expectations they have of you. They expect you to behave better. They expect you to be smarter, to be more mature than everyone else. In actuality, you're really not. They even think that you're going to be better academically. Now, I'll be honest with you, I was not that great academically. I had a horrible time at times. I could not spell to save my life. I tried so hard. The whole understanding of grammar and phonics and things, it got past me. But I did my best. I also was not great with math. I remember this one time in fourth grade. Fourth grade, the math teacher, we had a math race. So we had this math race, and all the students were lined up, and he had all these different math problems up on the board. And then he would say, go. The first person would run up to the front. They would do the math problem, come back, pass the chalk, and the next kid would go up. And we wanted to see which line would get done first. A little bit of pressure, a little bit of competition, but it was to build those skills. Well, my anxiety was over the top. I'm thinking, why me? Why am I in this? Why am I dealing with this? I'm horrible at this. And as I'm standing in line, I look across and I realize I'm going to go up against the best girl in class, the best student in class who's awesome in math. I'm like, oh, why me? Here we go. So as we get closer to the front, I realize we're well ahead, easily a whole person and a half ahead. All right, come on, Steve, you got this. So the person runs back. I grab the chalk. I run up to the front. It's a word problem. Are you kidding me? Come on. So I do the best that I can. I'm trying to figure it all out. I get it wrong. I try again. The teacher ends up having to come up and give me a little assistance to get it done. I finally figured it all out. I ran back, and not only did she get up there, solve it, run back, the next person went up and came back. My team ended up losing. Why me? Why me? Now, my issues really got to me. It was some issues, and I kept thinking, I'm not dumb, but I just don't get these things. The next year, I went to a different school. We moved to a different school, and when I went to the different school, I remember at the beginning of the year, in math class, the teacher said to everyone, just letting you all know, we're going to be checking to see how you're doing. We might do some testing, and some of you might have the opportunity to move up to the next level math. So instantly, I start thinking about fourth grade. Well, that's not me. I'm horrible at math. And then I heard a voice. The voice said, why not me? Why not you? I'm like, huh, maybe. Why not me? Why couldn't I do it? And that voice kind of replayed in my head again. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to listen to that voice. I'm going to give it a shot. So I leaned in. I leaned into math. I did every work that I could. I asked additional questions. I went to the teacher for help. I even stayed after school a little time for help. At homework, I would go to my dad, who's pretty decent in math, ask him, am I getting this right? At the end of the first marking period, two students moved up to the next level. One of them was me. Why not me? Why not? So I continued on through school. School continued on. I still had struggles. I still had some issues as it related to English, language arts, spelling, spelling, and then those math issues. But eventually I graduated and I went to college and I got in. I was excited. I got into college. And after my freshman year in college, as most college students do, they come home and they have to do what? They got to find a job, right? So I had to find a job. I had to find a job. Now, my major in college was art. And the reason why I went the art route is because that was the area where I found that I could thrive, art and music. It didn't have to deal as much with the numbers as much. It didn't have to worry as much about the reading and stuff, but my creativity could come alive. So I went to school to become an art teacher. So I come home from school after my freshman year, and I realize I have to find a job. So I went on a few different interviews and things just weren't hitting. For some reason, I couldn't find a job. I was getting kind of frustrated. So I remember coming home after a not so good interview. I didn't get the job and I needed to continue to look. So I got home, nobody was home, and what do? I don't go to the internet. Back then, you open up the newspaper. So I open up the newspaper to wanted sections. Open them up, I go to my family room, I'm down on the floor at home alone, and I'm looking through. Come on, I gotta find something. And then something showed up. I saw an ad for an art director at a summer camp. And I'm thinking, I'm just a freshman. I know I'm art ed major, but it's an art director. I can't be an art director. I can't do this. So I continue to look. And then I heard a voice. The voice said, go for it. I mean, I swore someone was in the house. I heard a voice outside of my head in the house said, go for it. I sat up. Hey, I'm looking around. Is somebody here? Your heart starts pumping? What? What? I was like, all right, get it together, Steve. Well, I continued to look. I came back across the art director job again. Go for it. Man, I knew somebody broke in my house. I got up. I'm looking around. Hello, yo, what's going on? And then I realized, wait a second. That's that voice. Why not me? I went back down. I looked at it again. I'm thinking, why not me? Give it a shot. Give it a go. So, grab the phone. dialed the number, called, left a message. They called me back relatively quickly. I went in for the interview, and then for the next 4 years, I was the director of art for that summer camp. So I continued on through college. College was great. I graduated, and I was very fortunate. I got a job. I got a job. I got a job right out. I was very fortunate as an art teacher. I taught pre-K to third grade art, little tiny kids. Yes, I stepped on some. They're fine. We settled out of court. They're all right. They're fine. I didn't see them down there. They're little people. I'm a big guy. Anyway, I taught pre-K to third grade art. It was absolutely a wonderful job. To me, the job was like throwing a party every 40 minutes. They would all come in, you take out all the stuff, you make great stuff, you pack it up, the next group come in, you do it all over again. Energetic and fun. So as most educators and teachers do, what you have is you have your observation from your principal or your administrator. So I was scheduled, we had our pre-observation where we talked about what we're going to do, then he came in. He came in, he watched me do my teaching, had a great time. And so after that, we had a post-observation where I go in and we talk about what happened. Now, it was a great observation. We had a good meeting. We talked about some things could be improved. Everything was wonderful. At the end of that meeting, I was about to get up to leave, and the principal, he said to me, "Hey, Steve, one more thing before you go." I said, "Yes?" "Make sure you go back to school, get your master's, keep your education going, all right?" And I said, all right, no problem, thanks." He's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, hold on, sit down." I was like, "Yes." He said, "I don't like the way you answered me that. I'm serious, Steve. Go back to school, get your master's." And then he broke down the value of getting your education some more, and you move up on the pay scale. You become invested into the profession. And I said, "I appreciate this, but to be honest with you, I don't know what I want to get my master's in. I don't know if I want to, continue to be an art teacher. I really don't know." So he went on to talk to me about, well, of course, you could do art. You also have a degree in music. You could do music. You could be a supervisor. You could be a principal. You could be, whoa, 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 hold it. I could be a principal? Yeah, you could be a principal. Why can't you be a principal? Well, I'm an art teacher. Who says an art teacher can't be a principal? Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. You could be an art teacher. You could be a principal. Huh. Heard that voice again. Why not me? All right, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to look into this. I'm going to check this out. So the remainder of that school year, I looked into school administrators, specifically principals. I looked at my principal. I looked at other principals. Whenever there was a principal around, I would go and check out. If there was a meeting I knew principals were going to be, I'd be a part of that meeting. I wanted to see the world of principalship, administrators in schools. And I came to realize one thing. I do not like principals. I didn't like that job at all. I didn't like anything about it. I almost hated it. Are you kidding me? I wasn't creative. I felt them they weren't creative. They were stuffy. They followed rules too much. It was all about compliance, compliance. It had nothing to do with my core of who I was. I'm not doing this at all. And then I heard a voice. Why not me? Why not you? Why not be the administrator? Why not be the principal, the leader that utilizes the creativity that you have? Why not be the leader, the administrator that could do things a little different? Why not you? So I listened to the voice. Why not me? Why not me? So I leaned in again. I went for it. I got my master's in educational leadership. And when I became a school administrator, trust me, there were some learning curves. There were some changes that I had to adjust to, but I allowed the creativity of who I was to fulfill and be a part of that position. And I ended up infusing creativity into my leadership, into the schools that I was a part of, and I led. I continued on to be a vice principal, a principal, an assistant superintendent, a superintendent. And now I work with schools around the country on helping them improve their climate culture, maximize their leadership, and develop ideas that work. Why not me? Why not me? Now, back up with me a little bit. I need to get back into college again, my time when I was in college. Now, being an art education major back in college, there was a revelation that I had during my time in college. Being an art major, I had to take a class which was an art theories class, I believe it was. And in this art theories class that I had, one of the things that they made you do, and it came out of nowhere, and I remember the first time we had to do this, is we had to do impromptu writings. Just we would come up with a concept or an idea or a thought that we've spoken about or discussed in class, and immediately sit down, write a whole paragraph, write an essay in class about it. So I remember the first time that this happened, and oh my gosh, you want to talk about anxiety again? Why me? Words, numbers, all that thing. Jumped right back up. So then, so I wrote it all out. I did the best that I could, turned it in. The next time that we had class, the professor, she pulled me over after class and she says, Steve, I have to say, the concepts and the ideas in your essay, in your writing, was, was phenomenal, far beyond everyone else in class, although it was very difficult to read it. You had a lot of spelling and grammatical errors. I was like, yeah, I know, that's just the way I am. It's kind of difficult for me, but I'll be all right. And then she said, are you dyslexic? And my response was, what'd you say about my mama? I mean, I didn't know. I had no idea what you were talking about. I never even heard the word before. Dyslaka who? What? And so she says, dyslexic. I'm like, I don't know. So for a very short time, she explained about what dyslexia is. Dyslexia is a perception disability. And when you perceive words and numbers and certain things, it kind of gets mixed up into your head. You may have problems with spelling. You may have problems with number sequencing and some writing and some reading, things like just that. And it turns out about quite possibly 10% of the population in the world may have some form of dyslexia. And so after listening to her, I said, well, to be honest with you, that sounds like my whole life. So she suggested, says, do me a favor, go to the student center and let them know and make an appointment to get checked to see if you have dyslexia. I said, all right, sure, I'll do that. All right, no problem. So the next time that we had class, she saw me. She said, Steve, did you go get checked? I says, yeah, I forgot about it. Okay, I'm on it. I'll get it. Next time that we had class, Steve, did you go? Oh, Steve, gotta go. Okay. Third class, next class. Steve, did you go? Yes. Yes, I went. She's like, no, you didn't. I said, no, I didn't. Then the next class she came, she didn't even ask. She said, Steve, come here. At the end of class, she brought me up. She says, come with me. I said, okay. And so after class, we started walking, and she walked me to the student center. She had already made an appointment for me right after class to get tested. And it turns out I'm dyslexic. I'm not a little dyslexic. I'm a lot dyslexic. Here's the thing. In finding out that I was dyslexic, it's a disability. It's something that's a hindrance. But even though I knew that I had dyslexia at that moment in time, thinking back over my life of all the challenges I had and the things that I did, it didn't hold me back. The reason why it didn't hold me back was because of that voice. Why not me? Why not me? And I start to think, if I knew I had dyslexia way before, would it have changed anything? I don't know. That's a hard answer to come up with. But knowing the attitude and the thought process of why not me, it can push you forward in life, or it can hold you back in life. Now, I'm going to switch a little again for you guys here, and I know there's a big question that everybody has, and that is, how come I am not a basketball player? I mean, come on. I mean, I'd say I'm not, but look at me. How come I'm not? And in my intro, I did say that I did play basketball in high school. Yes, I did. I was pretty good. I wasn't the greatest out there, no, but I was pretty good. I held my own, right? And I had to work hard at it. And the reason why I did play basketball in high school, in junior high and into high school, is because, and you look like me, that's what you are expected to do. This is what you are supposed to do. So I really leaned in and I pushed hard to make sure that I could play and hold my own in basketball through high school. Now, when I had started applying for colleges and looking at places, I noticed the school that I went to, I wanted to go to, and I said, oh, I want to go visit there. So we set up a time, we're going to go for the visit, and part of our visit, we wanted to go and talk with the basketball coach. So when we went to go visit, we made a special trip to go talk to the basketball coach. We went and we talked to the coach. He says, look, you seem like a great guy. Unfortunately, I really don't know you that well, and everything like that, but let's send me your tapes and then we can figure something out. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I mean, the school had a great art program. This is where I think I might want to go. So I went home, I got my VHS tapes, sent the tapes to the school for them to see. We started talking a little bit. He says, look, this is great. He says, look, you still got to get into the college on your own. But if you get in here, you join the team, you get on the team, you do well, there's a possibility that we can get a partial for you your following year. Because what I'm seeing, it looks like something that we want to have happen. I'm like, you know what? I'll take that. Let's go for that. Let's do it. So I got into the college. I went there. So I'm thinking, I'm in college. I'm here. I made it. Let me go down and say hi to the coach. So I went trucking down to say hi to the coach, say, hey, man, I'm here. I can't wait for the year to start. Everything's great. I go, I knock on the door, open it up. It's a completely different person. The coach I spoke to resigned. He left. Brand new coach is in there. He doesn't know me at all. So I say to him, hey, my name is this. This is what it is. And he's just like, look, I don't know you for anything. You got to try out like everybody else. I'm not giving you a thing. So I'm thinking, why not me? I could do this. Why not me? I'm the man. So when basketball season came around, I signed up. I said, let's go. First practice that we had, right? I'm pushing. I'm showing everything that I got. I'm moving. I'm shaking. Those upperclassmen, they're trying to put it on me, but I'm holding my own, right? A little beat up, but I'm all right. Second practice that we have, I go at it even harder. I'm doing what I can. I even dunked on an upperclassman. One of the assistant coach pulled me aside after. He says, hey, I see you, man. You're doing a good job. I'm like, yeah, I got this. Got this. After that second practice, I went back to my dorm room. My knees hurt, my back hurt, I was tired, I was beat up. I looked in the mirror, and I'm thinking, why not me? Why not me? Why not focus on what it is that I want, what I really want to do? I don't love basketball. I do basketball because that's what people think I should do. So sometimes when you're thinking of that why not me, the why not me might be for what it is that is good just for you, not what others think you should do for why not me. So I never went back. I stopped right then and there. My basketball career was over. I focused on the arts. I focused on the music. I focused on teaching and instruction. And it continued me on to the great things that I had in my life. Why not me? Here's the deal, gang. There's a lot of things in life that are going to come your way. So many different things are going to come your way. And having the idea and the thought and that voice speaking to you. Now, everybody has that voice. You know it is. That voice could be divine intervention. It could be a spiritual thought. It could be your own process. Whatever you feel that voice is, are you listening to it? Is that voice dependent upon what other people think, or is it dependent upon who you really are? You might need to do a little soul searching with that. Because I know through the challenges that I've had in my life, being dyslexic and not even knowing it, expectations of the world, of what I look like or who I am and where the direction they want me to be, that voice, why not me, is the direction that can move me and moved me to an area of success that I've had now. Think about that. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why not me? Thank you very much.